This is episode 44 of the Out of the Minds podcast. I'm Sean Oakley.
And I'm Sam Cooper, and hey, we're back. It's a Morloff.
Again. Yes.
Again.
As promised last week, we've been tweaking lists, so we do have something similar. And on that note, let's dive straight in, Sam. So, I've brought my core again of Maul, Manaru, and Ahaf. Manaru has not changed in his loadout, so he's running Notorious, Jamming Beam, Overtune Modulators, Punishing 1, and R5P8. I've tweaked Maul slightly. I've dropped Veteran Tail Gunner because I needed 1 point. And I've also dropped the Prox Mines. And then I've replaced those by the Drop Seat Bay, the Mandalorian Super Commandos, and then because I had a point over, Greedo Gunner. And the reason I'd done this is because of one of my two other ships. I brought Gamut Key again, because if I can play him right, I feel he's got really good potential. And what I want to do with him is basically have him trailing behind Maul, so that he's a worse target at range 3 more often, and is letting Maul continue to keep calculates and stuff. And because he's going to be trailing behind, the likelihood of me wanting to drop Prox Mines is a lot less. And actually, thinking about it now, if he's trailing behind, what's the upgrade that adds a defense dice if you're obstructing?
Tactical Scrambler.
Yeah, maybe I should put that on Maul. But anyway, and to flesh out, because I've got another 3 points, I'm trying out Bosk in the Z95. And I've put Marksmanship and Predator on him to help get those crits. And then Tracking Fob, because it's kind of that or a missile, really. But, unlimited range target locks. I was kind of hoping Sam would just bring Darth Maul and a load of droids, and then he hasn't got a choice where he puts the march for elimination. For those who don't know, the Tracking Fob, you at setup, you assign, or your opponent assigns the march for elimination condition to one of their cards, ships. They must assign it to a non-limited ship if possible. And the condition basically reads, I ignore range restrictions when taking locks against that ship, and when that ship defends, if it's someone with a Tracking Fob, they cannot spend green tokens. So yeah, that's my list for this evening.
So my list is Darth Maul and a bunch of droids, except one of them is a special droid. So we've got Darth Maul in the Scimitar with Hate, Shattering Shot, Death Watch Commandos, Shield Upgrade, and the Scimitar title. I've got 4 Trade Federation drones and DIS 347 in the Tri-Fighter with Outmaneuver, Shield Upgrade, and Intercept Booster. And basically, the reason I'm tweaking this is because I'm trying to test my theory in that some of the best CIS lists are 4 Trade Federation drones and then 12 points spent on ships to win the game with. I'm still trying out Darth Maul and the Infiltrator, and so I was looking for good 4-point ships, and I think the Tri-Fighter is a good 4-point ship. So here we are, trying it out. Spoiler alert, I'm not going to use this game as the be-all, end-all on whether this ship is good, because I heavily flip it up.
I mean, you say heavily.
Yeah.
I think one major mistake, which
it basically costs me the game.
It does, but it's fine margins of a mistake. It's not, blundering obvious. But yeah, let's talk about turn 0. And we've got a reasonably similar setup on objectives as last week. We are playing... So we rolled off and got Assault at the Satellite Array again, and we were like, yeah, no, we're not going to do that twice in a row. So we rolled again and got Scramble the Transmissions. And yeah, we've pretty much got a similar setup where it's basically ended up, as I'm looking at it, with 2 in almost my corner, each of my corners. 1 just over halfway up the board on the left-hand side, and then 1 as far close to your edge as you can, centre again.
Yeah.
And then obviously the 1 in the middle. And then rocks. for the most part, are just sort of circularly clustered around the center objective, with one off on its corner that I stuck out the way.
Yeah, so it's interesting because normally I stick big rocks next to objectives because I like to sit on them. But in Scramble or Transmissions, there's no real incentive to sit near objectives.
Yeah, which is
Like once you've got it, you can leave.
why I um the only rock I really cared about placing, I took because I was first player, I took the biggest rock, stuck it just the other side of your one that's in the middle and the middle objective, basically, so you couldn't five straight the Tri Fighter through.
Yeah.
Apart from that, the rest were. So I wasn't trying to obstruct objectives. It was just a case of, I think that the main battle per se is going to happen in that cluster of three that we've got. So make sure I've got lanes to get through to that. I also forgot that the TIE Fighters 5 straight was red, not white, because I was just going to 5 straight through the rock with Ahab. And then I was like, I can't actually do that. Well, I mean, I could, but it wouldn't net me anything because I'd just be stressed at the end. So,
so basically, so my setup is I clustered my 4 Trade Federation drones in a box formation in like as we look at the board in the top left-hand corner, so my right hand. We space either side depending on where I want to put them all. Then I put my Tri-Fighter parallel, like 90-degree angle, so I can easily two-bank, grab my closest objective, and be pointing like down towards your side of the board through a gap in the rocks. Because I have a plan with this Tri-Fighter. I don't actually do it, and in hindsight, I think I just should have.
So yeah, I've Sorry, carry on.
Yeah, because my plan is I'll go to two bank, grab the objective, and the next turn, 4 straight, intercept boosters, 4 straight, maybe even link it to a target lock. And with the idea that I've then shot past Bosk and I can just go to one of your home objectives quite easily.
Yeah. So I've set up Ahab directly in the center because I was going to 5 straight over the rock in front of it before I realised I couldn't. Manu is set up like as close as I can next to him because I've got a lane to go sort of 3 straight and then bank to the left, and then basically I'm above the majority of the rocks and can just turn left because I'm assuming Sam's list is going to come down pretty fast that way, and we all know the jump master wants to turn left. Boss got stuck in the far right to just move slowly, claim the close objective next to me, and then see where your Tri-Fighter went. Ideally swing in and start killing Maul, who's got the mark for elimination, and also easier to line up bullseyes on the large base. But and then basically Maul's opposite your list. Gamut Key is set up slightly to the left of him and facing 90 degrees. My reasoning being behind that was I was going to do a hard turn to the left, claim the objective. Maul can stop. The next turn, Gamut moves forward, and then barrel rolls out of the way, and when I tried to do that on turn 2, you'll see is the moment I realised that the Hawk doesn't have a barrel roll, and that's slightly awkward, but there we go. And basically, I wanted to get Maul ahead. If it hadn't been Sam's list I was playing against, and Sam likes to get aggressive with his list very quickly, I probably would have had enough time to have done like a 1 straight with Gamma and then a 4 straight jump over with Maul. But I knew you just block that, so
and so I've ended up deploying Maul on the far left of the board in the very corner, which I will now absolutely straight up. This is probably a mistake. It doesn't have to be, but I am boxing my big ship in.
Yeah.
And had I deployed more of a center, I'd have a lot more options. Like if you're watching the YouTube, on the other side of my block of trade feds is space for Maul that I purposefully left because I wasn't sure where your Maul was going to end up, and I wanted to just have the option. And where I am blocking my Maul into essentially 1 straight for the rest of his life.
Yeah. But yeah.
And that really bites me in the bum.
Yeah, because he basically makes it down to the board edge, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, spoilers, he survives, but...
Yeah, he survives, but it doesn't matter because I screw up with the Tri-Fighter, and that's all that really mattered.
But yeah, so turn 1, you shoot forward with the...
I shoot forward. I grab the middle left objective, like the one on the far side, and you grab 2 objectives. I grab my home objective. Maul moves forward, doesn't decloak. Yeah, nothing exciting really.
Yeah, pretty much. No one grabs the middle one because I couldn't do it. Now, turn 2, I make a bit of a mistake here. And I compound it in turn 3. And my mistake is... So Ahab sat in front of the asteroid, knowing that I can do I think I dialed in a 4 straight, go over the asteroid, claim the centre objective. I know Manaru's banking that way. And the reason I didn't claim the objective with Manaru is because I wanted Manaru to be able to... start attacking and start shooting out the front and dealing damage. But the mistake I make is I know you're going to go fast again because you're going to try and block the, Gamma and Maul and and there's no way I'm getting Manaru's front arc on that. I'd have to hard turn and that will leave me in front of the rock. So what I should have done here, I think, is actually turned Ahab in, or maybe like a 2 bank to the left, so I can barrel roll either side of the rock that would be in front of him, depending on how fast you go with the droids, so that he can start getting arc on Maul. Because let's be honest, Maul is the only target he's likely to do a decent amount of damage with because of his ability. Yeah. And then just claim, done a 3 bank with Ahab and just claimed the objective. Ahab's got enough health that he could take some damage from the Tri-Fighter if the Tri-Fighter turned in.
You mean Manaru?
Yeah, sorry, Manaru. Or I could have triggered overtune modulators here, but I don't.
Yeah. Because I believe I have priority, so you can even wait to see if I keep my intercept boosters. Because if I keep my intercept boosters, you don't need to worry about the Tri-Fighter.
Yes.
So what I've dialed in with the trade fights, 5 straight, 5 straight, 5 straight, 5 straight. I want to see if I can get in range of your objective, just nick it from you. If you for some reason do anything faster than a 1 straight, Gamut key will bump. And then he's sat in front of 4 droids and Maul. Maul's gonna decloak and then 1 straight. And my Tri-Fighter, I've dialed in a 3 straight, and I with the plans on slamming to try and get past you, but I should have just done 4 straight and just gone to that corner of the board, because I don't think I was trying to hedge on Bosk doing a 1 straight and just trying to catch where the Tri-Fighter slams to. But I don't think I should have been thinking about that, because I need to get the Tri-Fighter down there as fast as I can. And when it comes down to it, Bosk isn't that big of a threat.
Yeah, see, interestingly, I dial in a 3 bank here because I don't think I've got a chance of keeping up with the Tri-Fighter. So I dial in a 3 bank, thinking that it sets me up to turn in towards your Swarm and Maul on the next turn. Yeah. So system phase.
Also, you throw out a Mando.
Yeah, system phase. I throw out a Mando. We have a bit of trouble remembering when Mandos activate and move and stuff. But I threw him out here because I can then 1-hard him during the activation phase. So he's facing towards your list. I didn't think he'd have a shot this turn, but it means that next turn I can chuck out the other one and I've got them both on the board.
Because I don't chuck out Mando, because I don't believe I can decloak and drop a Mando because they're devices.
No, and also, I suppose you can't decloak and drop in the same phase, can you?
Yeah,
but you do.
I'm pretty sure they're devices, so I can't decloak and drop.
So you move 2 of your droids and claim my objective, and that's the point we remember that the Mandos move at the start of the activation, not at I2 like I was waiting for. And you very graciously allowed me the 1-hard, which I do appreciate.
So I grabbed your objective with a bit of a lucky roll, and 3 of the droids take calculates.
I mean, you say a lucky roll. It's a, 7 in 8?
Like, it's like I was willing to have spent 2 rolls.
No, there's 2 blanks.
Well, no, two actions even.
2 blanks, isn't it? So it's a 3 and...
Well, no, 1 roll to clear it, because the first one is going to, at very least, remove your claim.
Yeah. But
and the second roll will just claim it automatically.
But what I mean is, there's 2 blanks on the dice, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you've got a 3 in 4 chance of just claiming it outright.
Yeah.
It's not that
Yeah.
lucky. But yeah, so Gambit does this one straight, and then I start swearing into my microphone at Sam when I realise I can't barrel roll out of the way.
Yep. And I was like, oh, okay. I
mean,
need to focus. Tiger myself.
Yeah, it's my fault. I haven't played the Hawk that much, but I should have at least checked before I set dials and stuff. No, in the end, I jam away.
You jam away one of my calculators.
One of your calculators.
Yellow.
Because at this point, I think you haven't got a calculate on red, so it's only 2 calculators you've got between 4 ships on attack and defense. I'm hoping to strip some of those because I'm shooting before them, so that when you inevitably shoot into Gamut or Maul, it's slightly less damaging.
Yeah.
So Ahab comes up and claims the center objective. Manaru does bank. At this point, I realise that I'm not shooting out the front, so I lock into a rotate because I know I'm turning left. So I'm reasonably happy that I can remove the stress on the next turn. Bosk does do a 3 bank.
My Tri-Fighter does a 3 straight and takes an evade.
Maul bumps into the back of Gamut. I actually wonder here whether because I think I dialed in a 2 straight to get rid of the stress. I actually wonder whether I should have dialed in a 4 straight. Because if I dial in a 4 straight, A, I can trigger Night Brother and get a focus. B,
and you likely would have ended up bumping into my droids, so you would have been able to take a focus.
That's why. I wouldn't need to because I'd be stressed. But even the likelihood is, I bump into your droids. Yes, I still end up behind Gamut, but it's where the template ends, isn't it? So I'd be sat at range. I think one of the front droids with a focus rather than nothing.
I think this does come down to you thought Gamut was going to barrel roll, so with that as the go-to, like I think the 2 straight is correct.
Yeah. That's on me.
And I think a fix the only real easy fix to this is
know what actions your ships can do.
No action ship, but Gamut stops on turn 1 as well as Maul.
Yeah, but then he's not claiming the objective. Actually, I think the fix is that you jump Maul over turn 1.
Yeah,
and just have him in front. It's what you want. I don't know why I stopped and delayed it. I should have just done a 2 straight with Maul turn 1.
Yeah,
because I don't think that would get. I don't think you'd be in range even with the 5 straight. So I can jump him over turn 1, do the double calculate with IG-88D, Gamut turn 1 so that Maul keeps it, and then jump forward with him again, and he's got 4 calculate. I think that's the way to do it, and I'll probably keep playing because I think if I can start flying it properly, I think Gamut he's a great support ship, especially with Praetorian Gleb allowing him to coordinate and get rid of stresses and so on and so forth. But anyhow, we jump to the shooting.
Yeah, my Maul does a 1 straight. Shoots first into Gamut, I believe. Oh, no, you shoot first, right?
Yeah, I shoot first. I am first this turn. And I go into
a trade threat of some sort.
Yeah, I believe I go into yellow because I've got red at range 1, but I've got yellow at range 2, and Manaru's got a lock on him as well.
Yeah.
He hasn't got to calculate, so he can only steal 1 a turn. So I'm thinking maybe I can kill yellow.
You roll a focus. I think you force it into a hit, but I evade it.
Yeah, not a great shot from my Maul.
Importantly, you forget Greedo, but luckily for you, I also forget Greedo.
I did forget Greedo. Yeah. So your Maul shoots into
Gamut,
and I believe you
2 hits and you blank it. I think, or is it 2 hits and
no? You take a shield off, so you must have got 1.
I double tap into Maul and I take all your shields off.
Yeah, plink both the shields off. And then we swing around to Bosk, who has a long range 3 into
Yeah,
a
the stream is
Tri-Fi.
frozen for me, by the way.
Oh, that's because I paused it.
Okay, cool.
It does a long range shot into the Tri-Fighter, which does nothing. And then we circle back to my 3s. So Gamut, I actually end up switching targets here and go from yellow into red because I have red at range 1. I don't have mods. At least with Maul, I had the Force, so I just felt weight of dice was... And also the fact I hadn't done anything to yellow. I thought weight of dice for unmodded. I roll hit, crit.
And I get an evade, so hit crit goes through, and I have 1 health left. I think it's Panic Pilot was the crit.
And then I do the... Right, so red's got 1 health left. And I've got no mods, or I've got a target lock onto yellow. And it's like, which one do I go for? They're both range 2. Oh, no, sorry. I think
Red's range 3.
Red's at range 3. So I end up going into yellow. Just because I think weighted dice. But I roll hit crit out of hand, which is rather nice.
I get an evade, and it's a direct hit.
Yeah,
so all of a sudden, 2 in 1 health trade defense, but I get to shoot.
But the important thing is all 4 of them are still alive.
And the Mandos get to shoot, which we almost forget.
No,
we basically...
We do forget the Mandos, and we circle into your droids.
Yeah.
And your droids start plunking.
The droids start shooting into Gamut. I think at the end of this, Gamut dies. I can't remember exactly how it happens.
So we do remember the Mandos, and I believe you're tinkering them. And then we get the range ruler out because there is no art check at the moment. So we would have... I go into red because it's the only shot. And if we kill red, we worked out what damage would come back.
Well, we'd have worked it out, basically.
Yeah, but I whiff anyway, so it doesn't matter in the end. And basically, those 2 stumbling blocks help us remember what to do with Mandos for the rest of the game. So yeah. So you've killed Gamma, and I think you've actually got a shot left with one of the droids to go into Maul. Because
I put a crit in.
Yeah, you crit. I get 1 evade. And I believe I take a fuel leak.
Fuel leak, yes.
Which, funny, I didn't put on the overlay. But it's there. He's on 8 with a fuel leak for anybody watching.
Yeah.
So, this turn, I know that Maul's going to bump. Because, unless I really shoot fast, Maul's going to bump. And I want to shoot fast because that's going to stop Manaru turning in. But what I should have done here is I 3k Ahav, thinking because he hasn't got a boost, he's hard to get into position and so on and so forth. And I keep forgetting that he can go through rocks even though it's his ability. What I think I should have done with him here is 3 harded, or maybe even a 2 hard, and then just barrel rolled in front of the rock.
Yeah.
That'll bring his arc down enough, maybe not to get more, but at least catch something. And then next turn he can just go through the rock.
Yeah. I mean, the other option is you just 4 straight go for that objective, right? With
I could 4 straight go for the objective. And actually, funnily, that hadn't even occurred to me. I still sometimes fall into the trap of my old X-Wing 2.0 mindset, which is must kill everything.
Yeah. Well, do you want to know a little tidbit, Sean?
Yes.
Do you remember that turn where you were like, Manaru doesn't want to do an action?
Yeah.
You were sat on top of an objective.
What?
I was just like, okay, you can take a target lock on the guy you've already got a lock on. I'm not going to complain.
I'm pretty sure that's this. I'm pretty sure that's this turn. Right. So,
but this turn, for many reasons, is the turn I lose the game realistically, because this is the turn I make a huge mistake with my Tri-Fighter, and I compound my errors with the rest of my list. I'm like, I think Maul is gonna stop, and I'm gonna go ham into Maul is what my plan is, and it just doesn't work out.
I'd like to point out that I would have thought a 3 hard here would have fit. It's the Moustache Rock.
Yeah.
But yeah, so system phase when we get to it.
I drop a Mando, you drop a Mando.
I drop a Mando, you drop a Mando, and Manaru triggers his overtune modulators to gain 3 calculates, because I know I'm likely to start shooting this turn, and I wasn't sure if I mean, I knew you were dropping likely to drop the Mandos, so I think Manu is going to get shot. And I wasn't sure if you'd end up 5King Maul here.
I did think about it, but I wasn't sure if that would end up with a shot onto Maul or not.
No, I circled round and looked at it, and I wasn't sure, but it would set you up well for the next turn.
Yeah, well, I think I should have done anything but the move I did. Is what I'm set on.
But yeah, and the overtune modulators is the whole reason why I don't take an action, and I should have taken an action.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we immediately move the Mando, sorry, and you obviously turn it to face Manaru, and I basically just turn them in to try and catch as many of your ships as I can, overlapping them to take strains.
And then all of my trade fairs do 2 straights and calculate if they can. One of them bumps into Maul. And I'm going to say I think this is a mistake because I'm putting most of my list in a place it can't get out, because even if all 4 of my drones survive this turn, where do they go next turn?
They have a 3K.
Because they're moving before Maul.
They have a 3K, don't they?
No, they don't have a 1K.
Oh, they have a 1K. Okay, I knew that. Is that it? Just a 1K?
1K and a 2 Talon.
Oh, okay. You 1K the 2 that are not bumped into Maul,
but bear in mind Maul is about to be there, and he needs to turn in as well. Like I'm literally pile driving. Like this is. It's a subtle mistake because I think I'm not wrong in thinking Maul's going to stop. Let's get 5 guns on him.
Well, this is why I expected the 5K from Maul, because you wouldn't have that problem then. But
yeah, this is. I was like, I got locked into thinking let's get 5 guns on him. But actually, if I look at my list, what are the chances that there's going to be 5 guns by the time those trade feds shoot? Because 2 of my trade feds are on 1 health.
Yeah, and 3 of them have got strains.
Yeah.
But yeah. So
like I think this is like a massive compounding error. These all those trade feds should have done it too hard and said, fine, we'll still be annoying to Maul, but let's turn towards the center of the board and start, I don't know, shooting Ahab, getting space.
Yeah.
Running for objectives. Doing what trade feds do at best, and clear space for Maul to come in, and he can kill your Maul.
Also, by turning in that way, you would keep Ahab circling after you, which means he's shooting out his side arc, and not getting the extra drives from the title.
In other news, the Tri-Fighter does ditches the internet boosters, does a 3 hard, lands on the mustache rock, takes a damage which pings his shield, then rolls a crit which is a direct hit and has 1 health left. I immediately look and he's going over the rock next round, so the Tri-Fighter is already dead.
See, I didn't clock that because it's by millimeters. That literally the end of the mustache rock just dives slightly under your nub and pokes out the other side. And on that, Manaru's 1 banked round to clear the stress. At this point, I'm like, I've got 3 green tokens. I don't want to start taking strains in case you do turn around and start shooting into him. Also, the Mandos are shooting at him, although it wouldn't matter this turn. And I was like, I don't want to focus because that's another green token I've got to ditch. And so I was just like, I'll target lock the ship I've already got a target lock on.
And I was like, all right.
Yeah, that's a blatant mistake because I am literally sat like half a base away from an objective
that I have. Like it's not even like it was your objective already. It's just an objective that I have.
And you're outscoring me 3-2 at the moment.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, okay, that's a colossal mistake. I don't know. I must have just glazed over and not seen the large patch of blue in front of me. But hey,
I don't know. Did you think it was my Mando or something?
I don't think so because the Mando show up like quite clearly. But anywho, Ahab does a 3K, which again is a mistake. He shouldn't be there. And if you come in slightly tighter with your Tri-Fighter, he'd be sat right. He'd be sat right in front of that. And the moment he did that 3K and your Tri-Fighter was there, I was like, I've dodged a bullet there.
Because DIS has outmaneuver, would likely have taken a target lock or a calculator or just something, whatever. Like,
Bosk, because I wasn't sure where you'd go with a Tri-Fighter, just as a 1 straight, because then I think I can barrel roll left or right, depending on where you've gone.
Yeah.
And I did barrel roll to the right, just trying to get the bullseye to line up, but it jumps over.
My Maul does a 1 straight. Unfortunately, this is actually sounds like the angle of our arcs means I have range 2 onto your Maul, which is a little sad.
So my Maul stops, and I contemplate for quite a while whether I should pop contraband here so that I can get an action. And I'm going, I've got the force. Should I repair this fuel leak? And in the end, I do pop it. I don't repair the fuel leak, but I take a double calculate because I'm thinking I'm taking realistically at least 3 shots.
Likely 3 shots. I reckon you're hard pressed to kill green and blue at the same time as killing red and yellow.
Well, that's what I mean. But I don't think I necessarily kill red and yellow. I think definitely one of them, but I am an hour about both of them. And yeah, Maul's going to shoot me, so I'm like, if I take the calculates, I can re-roll on defense as well.
Yeah.
So you shoot.
But anywho, I put in hit crit crit. You roll 2 evades with Maul.
Well, I don't. I roll focus blank. I spend one of the calculates to re-roll into, I think, an eyeball. I spend 2 force.
It was an eyeball. You spend 2 force. You take the crit, which procs the fuel leak. I mean, it's a panic pilot, so you get your 2 force back.
It is panic pilot, so I get my 2 force back. I got 3 stress. You did remember Greedo that turn.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I still forget it this turn. So I've got all your droids.
There, you shoot the range 0 guys, so you can't.
Oh yeah, that's true. So I've got all the guys at range 1, except the red that shot into me at range range 0. Sorry, the guy that bumped into me at range 0. But I actually decide to go into that guy because he's strained, so he's only rolling 1 defense dice. He's got 1 health left, and I've got the force that I can mod with. And if I kill him, there's no longer an enemy ship overlapping my Mandos, which means they can shoot as well. And I think that's probably the right call. So I do, and I think I roll like hit, focus, spend 1 force for the 2, which is all I need.
Yeah.
Bosk shoots into the Tri-Fighter and rolls a... I can't remember what I rolled, but it did.
You rolled a single crit, and I rolled a single evade, and at this point I said, but it doesn't matter because he's dead anyway. I almost didn't roll dice.
Manaru shoots the long range out the side into yellow, gets 2 hits.
And gets me.
And kills him, which then frees up the Mandos to shoot into, I think I go into blue.
I think this is my Mandos shooting Manaru when you evade it. You rolled 2 focuses, which lets you spend both those calculates.
Yeah, that was like the perfect result for me. Although to be fair, as long as I got rid of 1, because I'm turning left, I can likely do a blue bank. That's not an issue. But yeah, not strained. Then my Mandos shoot into get hit crit.
I take structural damage on
on blue. So you've lost 2 droids, and you've got a droid with a structural damage, and we know DIS is dying on the next round. But you're plinking off my Maul. He's down to 6 health already. You know, I've not even touched your Maul. So yeah, and you are still winning the objective race at the moment.
Yeah. Although it's only because you brain farted. Let's be realistic.
Okay.
I roll dice into Maul. I get a couple. I think I get a couple of hits. I can't remember because I think I put you down to 6 health.
Yeah, I'm down to 6.
And then I am in the mindset of I've probably already lost this game, but let's try. And I try and extricate my droids and Maul from the melee.
You know, the funny thing is I brain fart again, but we'll get to that. So at this point, I'm going to send... I don't think Bosk has got enough time to actually get down and start attacking Maul. So I send him up towards your home objective to try and claim that. Manaru continues his turn in, and Ahab just banks in, start trying to get into the fight. Maul, is it this no, it's not this turn. Maul just does, I think, a 2 straight to clear the first of his stress. Because I don't think you can 5k your Maul from where he is now. I think that's off the board. So although
2 sloop was a bit optimistic.
Yeah. Sorry?
A 2 sloop is also kind of optimistic.
Yeah. I thought you might 1k the droids. But I was kind of alright taking shots from them because I'd get a strange shot back or a structural damage shot back.
Yeah.
Out the rear. So that I felt was a fair trade. We then spend a while trying to move droids move Mandos because I can get them under your droids to give extra strains. And then you start moving your droids.
Yeah, so I do a 3 bank with one of my droids. This is the first time I've ever done that with a Vulture droid, by the way. With the idea of, if I can just get out, maybe I could have enough time to circle around to grab that objective. That's literally all that my thinking was, that one. And the blue one, the one with the structural damage, I try to 1 hard in front of Maul so I can try and barrel roll down and block your 2 straight, which in theory would clear space for my Maul to turn around a little bit. However, it doesn't go to plan. I bump into your Maul and yeah.
Yeah, so my Manaru banks round, focuses into a rotate to get the art pointing out the front again. Ahab banks in and takes a focus, and Bosk, moves straight and barrel rolls to line up the next turn for a 3 straight.
My Tri-Fighter dies.
My Maul does do the 2 straight, which jumps over your droid and gets rid of one of his stress.
And my Maul tries a 1 hard, which bumps into my own droid. I think I take a damage on my shield and get a force back.
Yep. So this has worked out quite nicely for me because I'm not getting shot this round. And I shoot blue out the rear. I get 2 damage, which is all I need because you're strained and structurally damaged.
Yep.
So that plinks him off. Now, interestingly, I make 2 balls.
Ball blats and Mandos.
So, yeah, Maul blats my Mandos, but luckily it's the guys that are shot.
Yeah.
Now, I make 2 mistakes with Manaru this turn. The first one is I shouldn't have bothered focusing into the rotate. I should have claimed the objective he sat on top of for the second round in a row. And then the second mistake I make is this. I take the range 1 shot into the Mandos. My thinking being they then can't shoot me back. And I was thinking, I don't really want to shoot Maul because I'm just going to recharge his force and I'm not going to do much damage. And then it's not until afterwards that Sam points out he's strained, so he's not rolling any defense dice. And also I checked and I'm pretty sure you were on full force at that point, so
yeah,
I wouldn't have recharged anything. And I'm like, okay, I should have shot the 3 dice into Maul instead, but hey.
Yeah, you kill the Mandos.
I kill
Mando for Mando.
I kill the Mandos. Your Mandos, meanwhile, take 2 damage off Ahab, who, with a focus token, rolls 3 blanks. And I was like, okay.
Mando Supreme!
Pretty much. So this next turn's reasonably easy for me. I can't bank Manaru round. Maul gets in the way of that. But I'm pretty reasonably confident of 1 straight fit. So I just 1 straight, and I think the next turn I do a hard turn, because if I'm on the board, I'll stay on the board. Manaru hasn't bumped anywhere, so I know I'm still at 45 degrees. Maul is going to 4 straight, which is the fastest speed he's got. He'll trigger Night Brother because I'm stressed, get the focus token. Ahab's just going to jump over the rock and start trying to shoot at Maul, and Boska's going to 3 straight and claim the top objective.
Yep. See, I have already worked out that I've lost unless magic happens. And for that magic, and the magic that needs to happen is that a 2 hard needs to become like 120-degree turn, so that my maul can shoot at your maul, and then I need to do 6 damage with a 3-dice shot.
Yeah, pretty much.
So in my, I've already worked out that we've lost. And I actually do suggest, like, do we just stop playing?
I think you stress that after we move rather than
After we move, and I work out where everyone's because, like, basically I am 4 points behind. Sean is 2 points off winning. He's currently getting 2 points off his objectives, and I'm getting 3. But I'm pretty sure that Bosca's about to. Even if he doesn't make it so that you gain 3, he's making it so that we're both only gaining 2.
Yeah.
So I would need to. I think I would need to, like, outright kill Manaru to tie.
Yeah.
Or get close.
Yeah, and Manaru's on full health, so
yeah.
So yeah, we do the moves as we've said, but I do make a mistake again, and this is it. I won straight with Manaru, and I think because I hadn't clocked that I was going to win this round because I pay slightly less attention than I probably should to the score. So I won straight with Manaru, and I think, perfect time to take a target lock on Darth Maul, and next turn I hard turn in. You'll stress, so I know you're not going to be slooping or anything. Great. You know what I should have done for the 3rd round in a turn?
Claim
the objective, because I'm still. I think that's still range 1, and it's certainly worth a try. I'm just like, oh, why? But hey, that's definitely.
Heck, you know what Ahab could have tried to do? Claim the objective.
Oh god, I could have, couldn't I? With Ahab
instead of failing a barrel roll.
Right, so Ahab moves, and I'm like, I wonder if I can do a barrel roll. And then I looked at it more closely. I was like, no, I hadn't. But as I did that, I realised I'd already clicked on the barrel roll button, and it's like, all right, well, that was me failing an attempt. What an idiot. Yeah, no, he should have. So yeah, because I could have swept. Because Maul's. I knew you were going to turn with Maul as hard as you could, which means the likelihood is you're not de-stressing. So it's like, damn, that could have been a 5-0 on the objectives, but never mind. And yeah, my Maul buggers off. Voss does claim the top one.
My Maul turn does a 2 hard, like, and then I say, yeah, that's it. Because even if I kill Ahab, and I've got a pretty good shot at killing Ahab, it doesn't really matter.
Definitely. But yeah, that's pretty much it. We don't play out the round because Sam points out that it's impossible, and interesting game.
I'm gonna run this list back the next time I play a few games because I can't count this as a true test because my Tri-Fighter didn't shoot.
No.
And so
despite the fact,
I think it's interesting.
Despite the fact that I won, I don't think I can really count this as a true test either because I was testing whether Gamut's working properly and he just died turn 2. So it's
because it actually weirded me out because I legit thought you would line up a joust on my droid swarm. When I dropped the 4 people on that side where the majority of the objectives were, I honestly thought there was going to be like 4 scum ships lined up across them by the time I was going to play small.
Honestly, it's because I thought I could turn Ahab and Manaru in 2 turns and effectively get that joust, but with a flank element on it. And to a certain extent, I did. I just forgot to do it with Ahab, and I think maybe actually with Manaru, turning him to get the front arc facing the right way, and then maybe accepting a couple of damage from a rock the next turn might have been the call. Because I don't know.
Yeah, because you got 9 health to spend, and
and also so long as you don't bump on the rock, you still get your action. So that'll.
No, I think you always skip your action. You just get to shoot if
you check it. If you clear the rock, you still get to perform your perform action step.
I definitely thought it was skip.
No.
Oh well.
No, you skip on. I think you might skip on gas clouds, although I'll have to double check. And you can't normally on debris because of the stress it gives you. But certainly rocks, you take a damage, you roll. But if you don't land on it at range 0, you still may perform your perform action step.
Yeah. Yeah, if you end a move overlapping an obstacle, you skip the full action. Cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah,
Then you cannot perform attacks.
yeah, it was interesting. I think I like the commandos, just for dishing out strains, and it just makes it easier to punch the damage through.
I'm not particularly sold on the commandos on Maul because they have to come out the back.
Yeah, I think the ability of having the drop bay on the gauntlet, sending them out the side with a bank, and then an immediate one hard turn basically gets them facing what's in your front arc.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, some definite mistakes in that game for both of us. Like your tri-fighter, it was millimeters, and we've all made those calls where we think a move will hit.
I legit think I just should have stuck with my original plan and just seen how that panned out, because my original plan was after that 2-bank, 4 straight.
Yeah.
And then
it certainly would have made things
3 hard. Yeah.
It would have made things harder for me because suddenly I've got a 3-dice gun behind me that I can't really ignore without maneuver. So yeah. But we'll definitely play this again. I wouldn't be surprised if next week's is something similar. We'll see what we've tweaked.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Kyber Cup starting soon.
Yeah, I think I'm actually going to put something like this into Kyber, so we'll see. But on that note, and as I've got a very early start tomorrow, we will wrap it up.
Yeah,
So, goodbye. We'll see you next week.
Yes.